After knowing about the squamatas, next we have our testudines, which are the turtles and tortoises. So they are vertebrate. They have a bony shell where the ribs and the vertebra are fused. They have limbs, their body has scutes, they are cold-blooded, they lay egg. Uh, the clat size depends from species to species, and they live an amphibious life as well as they thrive on land. And another most important thing about testudines are that they can retract their whole body inside their shell, though depending on the species. So the shell, the upper part of the shell is called the carapace and the bottom is called plastron. Both are could be bony in structure or leathery in structure. And they have eye, and their beak or the mouth is either flat, sharp, or could be serrated. They don't have teeth. So it's very unlike like the crocodile. They will have a smile. They do smile, but without the teeth. And they have feet which has nails or toes, and even they have in few species they have flippers and web toes depending on the surrounding they are living in. Their body has small scales, it's scaly, and they have, I mean, they can hear, of course, but they don't have any external opening. But it's the same like the lizard. They have a patch which is covered, and the same, it's called the tympanum. Next, we come across like many turtle and tortoises, but how would you know that which one is a female or a male? In case of a juvenile, it is really difficult to identify, but in case of an adult, there are few points by which you can make out. So, in case of a male, in the ventral side, in the front, there would be a notch, but in female, that would be flat. If you look into the tail, you will see the cloaca in the male would be more closer to the tail tip, and in the female, the cloaca will be more close towards the body. And the male plastron would be little concave in shape because they mount on the female during mating, and the female plastron would be more of a flat. Before we go little more about, get to know more about the testudines, let me tell you, there are near about 356 species around the world. And in India, there are 34. Imagine almost 10% of the world population we get to see here in India. Imagine our biodiversity. It's just so rich. So out of this 34 species, 29 species are freshwater turtle and tortoises, and the rest 5 are sea turtles. Then let's start with the tortoise. Tortoise are like the macho man in the family, in the whole family. So they are land dwellers. Imagine how the body should be. Because they move around in different surface of the land, they have to be tough enough. And that's the reason why, look at the shell and the limbs, you can see the scutes and the body structure. It's very strong, straight, and whenever they walk, their chest would be up from the ground. Not only that, they have the foot which is more like an elephant because they have to walk on the tough road or tough path. Their food is veggies. They are vegetarian. Imagine, they are just like the rhino, elephant, buffalo, etc. I mean, they are vegetarian too, but strong. And they generally don't go close I mean, they don't stay in the water, but they go near water just to drink. They don't stay in water. And let me just tell you a small thing. During mating, these tortoises can be really vocal. Not only that, during territorial display, they make amazing gargling call or grunting call to impress the female, and they would move around the female, by the as much as they can lift their body up, and they keep on nodding their head like this. So it is really take a hard time for the tortoise, the male, to convince the female. And if the female is okay, then she let the male mount on her. Otherwise she will walk by, I mean, just ignore the male completely. So it's really nice to look at their activities. So then comes, and this tortoises can lay, I mean, depending on the species, the clutch size could be of 6 or could be of 35 to 40. And after 2 to 3 months, again, depending on the species, the hatchling would come out, and they all move by their own. No parenting. So next come to our turtles. So turtles live a very amphibious life. They partly live on land and partly live in water. Because they live in water, they don't have a foot like the elephant, but they have webbed toes with claws. And they have to breathe because they are lung breathers. So no matter how long they need to stay in the water, but they need to come on the surface to breathe air. And because look at the feet, they are webbed, and see, they are basking on the land. Then, because they live in the water, their food habit is also very different than the tortoise. They feed on fish, beetle, worm, and also they do scavenge. So they keep the water clean. Then, when we talk about turtle, from turtle there are two different types or branch. One is soft shell and another one is hard shell. So in case of a soft shell, there would be a leathery skinny part above their carapace, I mean above the carapace. And in case of a hard shell, that would be quite bony in structure. Soft shells are completely carnivore. And in case of a hard shell, they're omnivores. They feed on flesh, as well as they feed on some veggies as well. And let's know a little more about some more species. Let's start with the flap shell, the Indian flap shell. And it is well distributed all around India. And it got its name because of this flap. If you see on the right hand side picture, on the hind leg there is a door like thing. So when they retract their limb inside, this door closes. Not only this thing, but this animal has been listed in the Schedule 1 species, which is equivalent to a tiger, because this is the most trafficked and poached turtle we among the species we get to see in India. You know what? I mean, yearly we get more than 5,000, sometimes 10,000 turtles, I mean, soft shell turtle, just for poaching, or they sell it for the callipee. Callipee is this outer part. You see the extra skin which is coming out from the shell, that is the callipee. And people dry it out and cut it like small chips, and they transport that, and that's a delicacy in different countries. It's really bad, isn't it? So be careful. If you come across, please do inform the department regarding this one. Next, we will go for a few more soft shell. How does it look like? Just see, they have a bony structure, but they have a leathery cover. Okay, so left hand side, top left is the Gangetic soft shell, and on the right hand side is the narrow headed soft shell. You know, these narrow headed soft shell Latin name is Chitra indica. Isn't that a nice name? They look very sweet, cuddly, but never do that because they can actually take out their neck pretty long, and if they get a chance to bite your finger they will pull it out. They will just cut it off, so be careful. Next comes to our hard shell. On the left bottom is the spotted pond turtle. You see how beautiful that is, isn't it? Polka dots. And this, if you see the mounds at the top, because it's a juvenile, once they start growing, when they start aging, this mounds start, it's become plain. And next, we come to a different one, which is called a box turtle. This is a Malayan box turtle, one of my favorite. So, if you see its plastron, you would find there is a hinge in the plastron. Like it is not straight. There is a hinge in between, and when the turtle needs to retract or they tuck inside, this door closes like this in an angular shape. That's why it's called a box turtle. So you cannot, and this box you cannot open. That it's the turtle needs to, it has to be willing enough to show its face in front of you. Otherwise, it will be inside the box. After these soft shell and hard shell turtle, there is another type of turtle which is called terrapin. So terrapins are the turtles only. It is only has a little, different terminology, but they mostly live in brackish water and very much water oriented. They come out for basking and for nesting. And this one, the particular one I have put the picture, is the Batagor Baska or the Northern River Terrapin. Their distribution is very limited, only in the part of Sundarbans. But you know what? This species is critically endangered, and not only that, this species is considered as functionally extinct from the wild. Many years back, there were only 36 individuals were left worldwide. But after the conservation program, which is happening in Sundarbans, now we have more than 250 adults, and or in the process to leave them back introduce them into the wild. And this species, one of the top 5 threatened species among all the turtles in the world. Hey, do you all know that sea turtle have existed since the time of dinosaur? Rather, little more than that. This marine reptile has adapted really well to move on since then. The sea turtle never leaves the ocean, only the female comes out to the beach to lay the egg. The male always remain in the water. Sea turtle have flippers instead of limbs or toes, what we generally used to see in land turtles and tortoises. Not only that, the sea turtle can't even take their body inside their shell. That's so different, isn't it? Sea turtle can navigate by using the Earth magnetic field. It's like they have an inbuilt GPS. How fascinating that is. And you know what? When the hatchling comes out, the magnetic map is imprinted into their brain, and that's the reason why, after many years, they come back to their natal beach to lay the egg again. How incredible that is! It's like I'm so blown away by their whole lifestyle. Wow. You know what? In India, we have more than 8,000 kilometer coastline, and in those coastline we get to see 5 species of sea turtle out of 7 species around the world. India is really rich country with all biodiversity, isn't it? So we have we have green sea turtle. Um, then we have hawksbill. You can see the bill over there, and that's how it got its name. And we have the loggerhead, which is the head is way bigger than the body. That's how it got its name. And the leatherback. Leatherback is very different than the rest of the sea turtles because their carapace is not a bony structure. It is more a leathery cover, just like we have it in our soft-shell turtle. And leatherback is the largest turtle in the world. They can grow up to 8 feet. Whoa, imagine, even a taller than Kali. Yes, that's amazing. And um, and another thing, it has been recorded that in India, in the coastline of India, apart from loggerhead, all the sea turtle, including this olive ridley, had laid egg. Imagine that means all the sea turtles who are coming to lay the egg there, they have hatched from this coastline. How fascinating that is. The sea turtle lays around 80 to 150 number of eggs in a clutch. That's because when they emerge in huge number, the chance of surviving also increases. Because after the predation and other casualties, only 0.5 to 1% hatchling get a chance to reach its adulthood. You know the saddest part about the sea turtle? Out of these 7 species, all these 7 species are endangered. And there is one sea turtle, which is Kent's sea turtle, and this is the smallest one. It is critically endangered. And imagine, out of only 7, if we are left with nothing, then it's so misfortunate for us, for the generation who will only learn about sea turtles and will be never able to see them. So the sea turtle we are losing because of the pollution, overfishing, because they get entangled in the net and because they need to breathe and they cannot reach to the surface because of that and they die. Sometimes they get hit badly by the propeller of the big, huge sheep which pass on and of course, the most important thing nowadays, not only with turtles, with every animal on this planet is getting endangered or are in a crisis because of the pollution we are generating. And the ocean is now polluted by all plastics what we are using are ruining their life each and every day. So now, let me ask you that we know a lot of things about these beautiful creatures, right? About the crocodiles, lizards, geckos, snakes, the turtles and tortoises. Imagine if all the creatures are gone from this planet, what will happen? It would be worse, right? Have you ever thought that why are we losing them? Why these endangered, critically endangered, extinct words are coming now and then into the IUCN Red List? The first and foremost thing is the habitat destruction. Due to increase in human population and the way we are spreading our concrete world, the other inhabitants of this planet are leading a miserable life. Not only that, man and animal conflict, a lot of poaching, pet trade, superstitions, all these are killing the animals. Not only reptiles, I mean, it's a story of all the animals. Next comes the pollution, which is definitely created by us. Imagine whenever we think about a vacation, we always choose a place where there would be a lot of greenery, fresh air, beautiful sceneries to look around. And I mean, surprisingly, when we are coming back from that place, we leave our debris and waste material and leave the place which looks like this picture. I mean, this is so hypocritic, right? Because we would definitely won't go back to a place which looks like this. Next comes the deforestation, which is a huge problem nowadays. I mean, whenever you have to build a road, you just cut off the trees. Imagine this huge, beautiful trees which are producing so much of oxygen for which we are living, we are just chopping them off. And not only, I mean, just not only oxygen, due to deforestation, a lot of landslides are happening. I hope you remember the flood in Kerala and Northeast, of course. Most of the time, we face this kind of situation. And deforestation is bringing a huge change in the climate, which is really not good for us, animals, of course. Then, um, we haven't stopped there. See this. I mean, people are selling turtles, which are endangered species, just in the open market. This is just one clip. Imagine how many turtles would be selling in different areas or different markets. We haven't stopped there. Look at this picture. Do you remember that I spoke about the reticulated python, the longest one? So this is the skin of the reticulated python. And imagine, I mean, that that beautiful creature. I mean, people, like few people who loves to wearing jackets, belt, shoes, leather bags. So that's very fascinating and fashion, but this is how these creatures brutally get killed because of that. Here comes the hatchlings. They are being transported for the pet trade. People love to see turtles in their aquarium. They swim, they climb, but in a small area. But just think, these hatchlings are newly born. They their egg tooth even remain intact when they box them. I mean, over here, if they back 1,000, hardly few of them stay alive. And look at this. These are the monitor lizard, actually, who keeps your surrounding clean without asking any money from you. And they have been killed for the meat and for the skin. They don't even, I mean, even people do eat turtle egg and bird's egg, of course. So this is how things are happening all around us. And the most dangerous thing is the pet trade. I mean, while doing this trade, 90% of the animal die just because the way they have been trafficked into small boxes, jar, even some small geckos have been trespassed within matchbox, just inside a matchbox. I mean, how could they leave? I mean, if you see this picture, look at how they have been tied, and all the one which you see green lizards behind, they all are dead. So if they are bringing 100, only maybe 2 to 3 would be alive. So the price, they price up the thing really high, and they sell to the people who wants to buy, who wants to keep wild animal at home. And look at these tortoises. I mean, how come you keep this animal at home? Just to make you feel good? Trust me, it looks way better when you see them in the wild, in their natural habitat. You see their each and every activity. That really pleasing. That is overwhelming, but not in the house. See the snake in a bottle. I mean, it can't even go out. It has been stuck there. And look at this. I mean, it is dead. Look at this beautiful dragon lizard. And this is what we are exactly doing with the wildlife. So, I mean, we keep on looking for animals, for these reptiles, which are very elusive, and the number is decreasing day by day. We don't see them in the wild much. But imagine from where all these poachers gather so many wildlife, so many species all together for selling. And they could sell because there are people who are buying them. So, while talking about all this thing, let me tell you, these reptiles, I mean, all the animals, but these reptiles are the keystone species in the ecosystem. They are important component of the food web in the most ecosystem. I mean, they could be the prey or the predator. They keep a balance. I mean, we all are entangled in a web. If one species fall, we all will fall together. Imagine they clean your surroundings. They are the friends of the farmers because the snakes feed on the rats. And imagine if there are no snakes and they would be full of rats, and trust me, we will die out of hunger. Not only this, um, these creatures, I mean, these reptiles, there are a few which feeds on fruits. So they disperse the seed while defecating. So imagine how many trees they are planting in their whole life. How many did you think about it? So um, I would say that when you know about them, learn about them, read more about them, watch them carefully, and try to take the good things from them, what they are, how they are, why is it important, and spread the awareness that wildlife is Mother Nature's great treasure. We all should save them, not exploit them. So, hope you have learned a bit about the reptiles and learn more, and just look them around. You will definitely love them. Thank you.